Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the shop. I decided to do a second part to the gas tank shop tip video. I soldered, in the last video, I soldered up the base, and I cleaned all the paint off it, and I put water in it, let it sit overnight, and nothing leaked out, so the tank is good. Now I worked on the top. I did a little bit of measuring, a little bit of double checking, and I decided where I wanted each of the holes. This hole here is for the fuel line. This is obviously for the fill. I got these screw caps, and there's the cap. I got these screw caps from Lee Pedersen. They're pretty good. They're just about what you expect, kind of a thin sheet metal. The only thing I don't really like about these is that there's no real flange to solder onto. It's just straight. So what I did, this is actually the first time I've soldered one of these on, so we'll see how it works. But anyway, so what I did, I made kind of a rough hole. I drilled a couple holes with a drill, cut out the resulting piece, and then I used some tin snips and cut around, and then I cut a bunch of little tabs and bent them up, so hopefully that'll hold the threaded piece on. So what I plan on doing, I'm going to push this on, then I'm going to push the tabs up with a screwdriver or something so it holds on there, flux everything up and solder it, and then I will solder it onto the bottom of the base. So I'm just pushing each one of these tabs down a little bit just to really make sure that the fill lid is on there. Also to ensure that it doesn't move while I'm soldering it. I don't think it'll move with the tabs no matter what, but when the flux starts bubbling and boiling, things will move a little bit. I've got one spot I gotta watch out for. I cut a little too much, so I've gotta make sure I really gotta fill that up with solder. So that's that. As you can see, it holds itself on pretty well. So I'll just hang it off my vise there and put a block so it doesn't fall. I'm going to get my paste flux. Get my heat out of the way. These little propane tank top heaters, by the way, are pretty handy. They're pretty cheap. You can get them at Harbor Freight for 30 bucks. They make a double burner one for, I don't know how much, but not that much more. And they definitely take the edge off. And this shop isn't insulated or anything. It's just a garage. And it works pretty well. You gotta let it run for maybe half an hour on the colder days to really warm things up, but it's really great, even if you just point it at yourself and use it to warm your hands every once in a while. So I fluxed it. I'm using rosin core solder, which is also flux. I like to err on the side of too much flux, which I guess might be frowned upon by people that are actually a little better at soldering than I am. But if it works for me, so I'm not too concerned about it. I wash all the flux off afterwards so it doesn't corrode anything. I think that's only a problem with acid course, acid flux. I'm not sure though. Definitely using enough solder on this. There, that should be plenty. How's that look? There. Okay. So again, I just got my propane torch with a nice flexible hose. Don't have to lug the bottle around. Where's my striker? Use one of these handy strikers. Don't need too much heat, so I'll turn the flame down a little bit. I was a little too hot last time when I was soldering the bottom. And let's see. Okay. Grabbed a little poker rod in case a piece of solder decides to run away. Cool down. Don't need anything catching on fire. Alright, I still see a hole. That spot that I was worried about. I think I got it. Okay, let's leave well enough alone on that one. That looks nice. That looks pretty nice. There you have it. Minimal discoloration on the bottom, showing I didn't put too much heat into it. And see that solder wetted in pretty nicely. Okay, enough of showing off. Let's see. Just gonna clean the bottom up real quick. And then I'll solder the top on. I want to clean this first because I'm not going to be able to get to it after I solder the top on. I'm sure there's some flux removing stuff, but I've got carburetor cleaner. Works well enough for me. Try not to point that at the heater. All right, I'd say that's about ready to go. So I'm gonna clean this up. I've already cleaned the base of the tank. I'm just gonna give the rim one more cleaning. Carburetor cleaner and a somewhat clean rag. And we're all set. Alright, so I'm gonna put some flux along here. These syringes sure make flux application a lot easier. Or whatever else, maybe RTV or something. I'd recommend grabbing some. Come in handy. Okay. I guess I should be careful about putting too much flux on because I don't want too much crap to be inside the tank because I can't clean it out. And this tank is square, so it doesn't matter the orientation of this. So I'm just gonna pop that on. Alright. I think the best way for me to do this is to hold it vertically. Alright. So I'm going to cut myself a couple more pieces of solder. I guess I'll do this and then I'll sign off because I'm sure you can figure out what it's going to look like at the end. So I'll do one joint here. Put the flame down. Pretty gentle flame. Maybe a little bit more heat. Oh, I'm on a roll. Anyway, that's it. You get the idea. So hope this has been of some help to some people. Thanks for watching, and come back for more. And soon enough, I'll show you my KA running, which this is going to go on to. So long for now.